I felt like at any point she could beat like Naruto, number one, because he's the protagonist. I never felt like she could beat Sasuke because no shit. I never feel like don't really know if she could beat like Neji.
What?
You think Sakura could beat Neji? I'm not talking about with the seal. Not with the seal. Not with the seal. With the seal, obviously, no, she would no diff him quick. I'm saying like base Sakura versus base Neji. You think she's putting the hands on Neji? I don't think so.
I mean, I think so.
Why?
I mean, I don't want to get into a power scaling, but like how?
No, let's talk about it.
Let's
talk. I think you did the intro last time, so you cool if I do it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, for sure. Alrighty. What do it's your boy Daffy Jerry? I'm here with my good friend Enlarged Prostates. Hello, sir.
Wait, what? Hello.
For sure. Now this man, Yumasuke, done hit me up. He said he has some questions for me. And so yeah, I guess we're gonna sit here and talk for a little bit.
All right. My first question is: do you think there is a female problem in anime?
Do I think there's a female problem in anime? That is a loaded question. Are we talking about specific series?
Let me narrow it down. Okay, let me narrow it down. Shonen anime.
In shonen specifically, I would say probably yeah. When it comes to that, I feel like a lot of female characters are underutilized. Not necessarily that they're like Mary Sue's, like the plot devices or anything like that. But you know, you have things, you know, such as like Sword Art Online, for example, where like you have the typical, you know, damsel in distress, you know what I mean, or the love interest of the hero, who, you know, like something happens to said love interest, so the hero tries to rise above and get stronger. I feel like that's a pretty common trope.
Wait, hold on. What about Asuna though?
Asuna, well, wasn't she captured all in the second season, or am I remembering that wrong?
It was in the second half of the first season.
Okay, yeah, it's been some years since I watched that.
But
that character was surrounded by like a harem of women, which I mean, I have my own feelings about harem anime as well. But like just the amount of fan service.
What are those feelings?
I don't really care for much fan service. I mean, you can have some like cheeky jokes and stuff like that. I don't have anything against that, but like you have things like Fire Force, for example, who like it can overdo it. You know what I mean? I feel like Naruto never really had that issue. Dragon Ball a little, but also like Toriyama's a gag author, so I can't really fault him for that. That was more like OG Dragon Ball, like as opposed to like stuff like Z and Super and everything. You have things like Chainsaw Man, where like that the point of the like quote unquote fan service is like to convey a point or like a message. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like losing track, but like, I'm kind of like making a small tangent, but like I was just reading some stuff online, and people were kind of talking about how like how Makima from Chainsaw Man is very similar to like Sosuke Aizen, and like if Sosuke Aizen did some of the things that Makima did.
Do that.
No, in terms of like how they interact with characters and like how characters like are infatuated with them, not in terms of like they're the same character. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like, you know how like Denji, he falls for Makima because she's, I'm not gonna spoil it for anime onlys or anything like that. But she's a very young, attractive woman. She says all the right things, blah 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 blah. It's kind of similar to Aizen in a way, where like a lot of the Espada, they followed him because he was so strong, but also it's because like he's good looking, he's a good leader, blah blah blah. Like even who's the king of Fuego Mundo, old guy,
Baragon.
Yeah, Baragon was talking like how like Aizen like he was bored and Aizen just showed up, and like it was like, oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like that same, like, infatuating effect. Yeah. They're not the same character. That's not what I'm saying. But in terms of, like, how they influence people around them, they're similar. That's what I meant. But, yeah, as far as female representation in anime goes, I feel like we've made some leeway.
No, not necessarily representation. I mean, is there, like, a problem in the way they're written?
And a problem in the way they're written.
Just the amount.
So that goes like series to series, definitely. That definitely goes series to series. One thing I respect My Hero for is when Ochako, it was a huge point where you know, it was like a huge thing. It's like, oh, you know, people like, oh, you like Deku this, you like Deku this, blah 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 blah. I mean, it was a gag for a long time because obviously they like each other, like no shit. And then she just has this moment where she's like, I'm gonna stop. I have bigger things to worry about. He has bigger things to worry about, and she's just like, not to say that she's done, but like she kind of, I don't want to say grows up either. That's not what I want to say, but she.
Hold on, when did this happen?
This
Mature.
was either season 3 or 4. Either
So
3
it's
or
in the
4.
anime.
It was yes. I don't remember exactly, but she kind of like, not to say she stops her feelings entirely. That's not what happened. Like that's not what I'm talking about. Like obviously when still like the mechanic girl, whenever she shows up and he's around, you know, she gets so kind of flustered. Yeah. But she's like, she realizes that like, oh, like this, he's doing. Was it against his fight against Overhaul? I don't think so. Was it? It might have been. I don't remember. But no, that was
That's
definitely
interesting.
That was definitely
because
a big
I don't
thing.
hear anyone bring that up.
Yeah, and
in
it's kind of a small
videos,
moment, but like I remember specifically at the it was just her like on screen and like the background was like white or blank or something, and she just kind of realizes she's like, huh. She's like, I'm gonna not pursue this. That's not what she said. I have to remember what she said, but basically it was kind of like her being like, yep, I like him, but we both have to attain these goals first before we do anything. I really respect the author for that. I know you've been doing a series recently on like on shonen women. I've been peeping that and how you think Naruto's women were not underutilized. Can you I want to hear your thoughts on that briefly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So this is a long thing.
Okay,
Well, it's not that long. I'm gonna try and compress it. All right. So the first part is my thoughts are that I'm gonna use the candy example. I said that if you have like a jar, right, and I have 75 blue candies and I have 25 blue candies, and I pick out, let's say, three candies randomly. I was asking, what's the likelihood that those candies will be blue? I mean, no, which one's higher? The likelihood that those candies will be blue or the likelihood that those candies will be pink? Mm-hmm. And then obviously the answer is that there would be blue. And I was saying those chosen candies are, you could obviously the blue is the man, or is the male group. Mm-hmm. The pink is the females. But those chosen candies, those could be the most powerful characters. They could be the most well-written characters. They could be the most important characters to the plot. But my point is that there are always a small group of characters out of the entire cast that's like important, that are strong, that are the most well-written. And I'm saying that, right? Yeah. Well, not necessarily even the core cast. It's kind of like sometimes it can be like the antagonists that end up in that group. So I'm saying that there's like this, I want to use a specific word. It's like this closed club, right, of characters that are like really good. And it's only like a small percent of the cast. But if the cast is like 75% male, and it's probably even lower for Naruto because I just did that by estimating. I looked at like the teams, and usually they have like 3 male characters and 1 female. So I just approximated that, but the percentage is probably even lower. So my whole thing is that if there are only 25 or less percent of females, the chances of them being in that closed out club of like the great characters, the best written, the strongest, the most important, the chances of them joining that is extremely low. And then I also pointed out that like many male characters, even more male characters, fall outside of that club than female characters. So my whole thing is that it's not a female problem. It's more so of a side character problem. And then if you say that there's a problem regarding females, it has to be about the amount of females that appear in the story.
Well,
because if they're
whenever I say, and that's sorry to interject, but whenever I say that there's a problem with the writing, typically what I mean is that like they can be written sometimes unreasonably, and sometimes they can be written off as plot devices, like I've said before, like when they're either captured or something like that. I know you have your own thoughts about kind of like what some people think is like kind of Sakura's worst moment, like in the when Pain, Shibaku Tensei, or excuse me, Shinra Tensei, the Leaf Village, and Sakura's like crying out for Naruto instead of like hitting like the seal on her forehead and doing something. I know you kind of have your own thoughts on that. from what I'm hearing from yourself, it still feels like a representation issue. It feels like okay, so we don't have we have too many not too many males. That's wrong, but we have we have a large population of males, small population of women or females, and so unfortunately, because this is a smaller group, they can't get enough shine because that's what I'm hearing. So I feel like we're still talking about a numbers issue, which is fine, and I agree with you on that. I'm saying when I'm talking about specifically writing, that's specifically what I'm talking about, because I understand what you're saying, because you gotta understand also is that shonen, it literally means like what, it doesn't mean like young man or like young boy in Japanese, and so like those stories are for young men, you know what I mean, typically, and so like whenever you see a shonen with a large culmination of like women or females, sometimes they're only used as like fan service or something like that, because like, you know, like horny boys, whatever, let's get some views in or something like that. But I really I have no problem with like how many women appear in a show. That doesn't make or break a series for me. It's how they are they characters first, or are they, oh, look at this is pretty, oh, look at this, like there's no substance behind just how I drew this character, you know what I mean? Like that's what kind of.
Which specific stories would you say have like females that don't have substance?
So so I should tell you a good example. This is an anime, but take Avatar The Last Airbender, right? Take Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah. Take Avatar: The Last Airbender. You have Toph, amazing character. I love her character. You have Katara. She has some flaws, but they work. They're logical. I love her character as well. I personally think Suki is really underutilized. I feel like she should have been in the group way more. But that's just me. That's just me having a preference. But those were characters first, and obviously they're kids, so you can't sexualize them. But if the series was in Japan, they would do it. Trust me.
I feel like they already did, but let's go.
But that was more so like cutesy stuff, kind of like, oh, they kissed in the tunnel or whatever, and like, you know,
they had them in bikinis in one episode, right?
Yeah, but bikinis aren't really a sexualized thing. I mean, that's just swimwear. That's swimwear. I'm not tripping over that. Like Azula's like 14.
I mean, I'm not tripping. Period.
I know what you mean, but like at no point when they were like wearing the bikinis, you're supposed to be like, oh, like they're going to the beach. You know what I mean? If they're all wearing like onesies, it'd be a little weird. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
People on Twitter keep talking about how they were wilding when they were young. Especially for Ty Lee.
I understand. To me, it never felt overtly sexual. You know what I mean? It just kind of felt like, she's attractive. You know what I mean? Because it's for kids, right?
Yeah.
It's for kids. Or even Korra. Take Korra. I have some issues with Korra and Asami's relationship at the end of season 4, because it kind of felt like out of nowhere. I was just like, what the fuck are we doing? But like Korra, I don't think Korra was sexualized one time. I've been rewatching the series. I don't really think so. Because I mean, really, like all of her like romantic scenes, it was with her just like, it was a romance thing. It was never like a thing like she was super attractive or something like that. I think, off the top of my head, I don't really think so. Same thing with Asami too. I don't think Asami really had any like overtly like sexual things. Like they really stuck out as characters to me first.
So what are bad examples in anime?
As far as bad examples, I watched a decent bit of Fire Force. I gotta say, man, some of the Fire Force cast, I'm like, this is nah.
I will not defend Fire Force.
I'm not a fan.
Not defend Fire Force.
Bulma early on in Dragon Ball, like OG Dragon Ball. It's a gag. I know. I understand. It's a gag, but just nah. Like no. I don't know. Just the amount of times they used her body to get favors from Roshi and shit is nah. Off the top of my head, JoJo, I can't really. I mean, they had some smaller gags with Triss. They kind of had some smaller gags with Triss, but that was like at near the end of part 5. Lisa, I mean, she's older, but she was a character first. I already talked about Chainsaw Man in depth. I was actually rereading that last night. I was actually having a good time.
What do you mean by that?
In terms of Chainsaw Man, or what do you mean?
No, no, a good. You said you were having a good time. What do you
No,
mean by
I
that?
was just rereading Chainsaw Man. I really enjoy the art style. It's very
Oh,
uh not minimalistic. That's not the word. It's very
no, it
blunt.
is minimalist.
Yeah, the art style is very blunt when it needs to be, but also like insanely detailed when it needs to be as well. Like I was reading Denji's fight against Katana Man, and also like his interactions with Rez, whatever. It's just
Crazy. Yep.
yeah, yeah. I was having a good time. I was just reading along, and it looked very good. Also, especially at the end of part one, just the art style just goes absolutely hard. It's so crazy. Um,
There are some iconic panels there.
yeah. Um, the shot where you like first see the scarf around his neck. I'm not gonna talk about it in depth, but you know what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, that's hard. That's hard. But yeah, yeah, I have to actually sit down and make a list. But I don't know, man. As far as like Naruto specifically, I'm just saying Naruto because I believe it was the first video on the subject, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. As far as Naruto goes, I generally think that Masashi Kishimoto, he does a pretty shit job as far as his side characters go, because he really didn't. He he set up a lot of world building and then decided to not decided to cram it, because a lot of this was Shonen Jump, but he decided to try to get us to care it during the war arc, and I'm sitting here like I don't really care that Darui is fighting Ginkaku and Renkaku. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
Dang. I mean, I disagree, but
I like the fight. I enjoyed it in the manga, but I don't. Why? Like we had seen like what Darui like what 3-4 times at that point. Like why? You know what I mean? Like
I think they were like setting him up to be the future Hokage. I said Hokage, Raikage.
In that particular fight, I don't think so. In that particular fight, I don't think so. I think it was just kind of just whatever. Like even like what was the worst fight in that arc? What was it? Samurai dude. What was his name? That fought Hanzo, because I really didn't care about that.
Mifune.
Yeah, Mifune. Yeah, that was stupid. I don't know what that was. Even like the Shichukage, the old man, with particle style. What's his name?
Onoki.
Inoki. Yeah, it's just like, dude, like, man, because like even take like the third Hokage in OG Naruto, right? We had known him for a little bit, right? We'd seen him a lot, and we fought Orochimaru. It was like, this I actually care about him. Oh no, he died. What? Like, you know what I mean? So I generally think like Masashi Kishimoto does a bad job with side characters in Naruto, because I will say this up and down. I've been screaming this. Lee's second best fight in the series is in a movie that's not canon. I think his second best fight was in Guardians of the Crescent Moon Kingdom.
Is that when he fought Guy?
What you say?
Is that? Oh no, Crescent Moon. That's the third movie.
That was a third OG. No, yeah, it was a third OG Naruto movie. I have the DVD in front of me. That fight was crazy. That fight was nuts, and that wasn't a canon fight. I mean, even like his fight in the first Naruto Shippuden movie was really good. It was actually really good. He like ate like this alcoholic candy thing or whatever. He just started going nuts. Like we didn't really get to see this respect in Shippuden. I mean, we saw it in the power filler, right? Because I think he had like a short fight scene with Guy or something when they were fighting Naruto in his his four-tail, his four-tail cloak, I think. The fourth or third tail.
I mean, I didn't watch it, but I've seen the fight.
The arc is beautifully animated for no reason. I have no idea where they blew all the budget on that arc, but yeah, like Lee was wasted, Neji was wasted in Shippuden.
Nah, I wouldn't say wasted. I mean, they serve their purpose. I mean, I know fans want to see both of them.
You don't think they were wasted?
No, I feel like they did their arc, they had their character arc, and they finished their journey. They did what they were made to do, and then he just kind of let them rest once he was finished with them. But then Neji, he kind of brought him back for a little more to develop Hinata and Naruto and progress the story in that way.
To get one tap by a stick. That was so fucking God. I remember the internet was ablaze that day. That was hilarious.
Because the first time I heard that, I hadn't actually read it. I'm like, man, he died by a stick. That's crazy. Then when I actually read it and I see all these other people dying by that same attack, I'm like, maybe that attack was dangerous.
Nah, man. Like you ain't got no rotations or nothing. Come on, son.
I think he said he was running. He was running. I think there was like a cooldown between the rotations because we saw him using rotation together with someone, and they were like using one was going clockwise, one was going counterclockwise. But I'm pretty sure they gave a reason as to why he was not able to do it.
You know what's stupid about that is like, and again, I'm not a power scaler, but remember how fast Lee was when
Yes, you are, but go on.
remember how fast Lee was when he fought Gaara? Like in the manga,
Yeah.
like, it was cool, but like in the anime, like he looked like he was like teleporting type shit.
Yeah.
Like Lee was a Genin at that point, and like it would be assumed, and he had no gates. It would be assumed that Neji would be stronger in Shippuden at that point.
No,
Right?
he did have gates.
No, when he was he's like, I'm not talking about when he was bouncing Gaara in the air. I'm talking about when he just took his weights off.
Oh, right. That was in first gate.
Yeah, he started like teleporting around and like he ended up getting that one kick on his head. It would be assumed that Neji would be faster than that because this was like what 3 years after, and like Neji was the only Jonin at that point. You know what I mean?
Neji was never the only Jonin.
No, I'm sorry, it was Neji and Shikamaru. I'm sorry, Neji and Shikamaru.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like it's stuff like that. I'm just like, bro, come on, like why? Just I don't get it. But
sounds like a power scaling.
No, I'm not a power scaler. Well, I mean, Neji's taking an L to 2 different sticks. I mean, one was an arrow, but you know what I mean. I refuse to say I'm a power scaler. I refuse.
Sound like super hot fire.
Super hot fire. But I'm not a rapper. No, dude. He's like, dude, because like I'm not like Seth. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, all right, like breaking calcs and stuff like that, and like getting into arguments with people online. It's just like I try to go from a place of where I would write the story at, you know what I mean, and try to like make sense. You feel me? Because like it's part of the reason why I enjoy Jujutsu Kaisen so much is because like even the authors talked about like, hey, Gojo, I can't really use him in the story. I have to lock his ass up, and like Yuji taking a bunch of L's in the story. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's
He
stuff
doesn't
like
take that many.
Oh,
Nobara
dude, he got worked in Shibuya. He got worked bad.
Nobara drinks more L's, bro.
She took like 1.
She drinks L's like it's water, man.
Cap. I mean,
that's not
in the competition arc. I mean, like they were trying to like kill each other. They're trying to kill Yuji, but they weren't trying to kill each other. I feel like that was more emphasized.
The entire story,
anime. She's
just losing like back to back to back.
She was putting some work on Mahito though before. You know what? I'm not even gonna. But you know what I mean. But she was getting it in though. Like even Mahito was hey.
She lost twice in that one arc.
Twice in Shibuya.
Yes, remember the guy with the marks on his cheeks, the one that Nanami one-shotted.
Oh, was he? Yeah, Did he fight Nobara? I forgot.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
She beat up Nobara.
Literally, all I remember is like his panel with Sukuna and him walking away. That was the only thing I remember about him. Yeah.
She got worked.
Yeah. I had to reread that. But I enjoy Nobara. I like her. I definitely am hoping her return is imminent. Just because from the way that she departed, it didn't seem permanent at all. Compared to other deaths we've seen in the series or anything.
She's definitely coming back.
Yeah, I'm wondering when it's gonna happen. It's probably gonna be within the next 7 months, maybe. I don't know. We'll see, but
Coming back so she can lose again.
Whatever. Now as far as Sakura goes specifically, I think I made a comment like a month ago or something, and I don't remember exactly what I said, but I think something along the lines of like her goals are really like surface level, and like they're not really like really her main goal at the end is like to get Sasuke to like her, which is kind of superficial and kind of like an issue I have with Kishimoto's writing. At the beginning of Naruto, it got better. It definitely did get better, especially because like look at her fight with like against like Sasori. Like that was a really good fight. Yeah, that was a really good fight. Because like he beat the 3rd Kazekage, and he was like one of like the OGs. He was apparently he was like a menace. You know what I mean? And like it was kind of implied that he kind of let himself get killed, but he was still actively trying to kill them. But uh, like at the beginning of part one, oh, Sasuke's this cute guy, Naruto's an idiot. Oh, I gotta get stronger so I can protect Naruto and Sasuke. Oh, I've heard there was like a period where she was just like gone in part one. Am I making that up? What?
Oh no, no. After the tuning exams, like she didn't really appear. I mean, a lot of the characters stopped appearing because, like, after the tuning exams, right? We had the
Yeah,
search for Tsunade, and that arc kind of like got rid of
that, that
90%
was
of
its
the
own
cast, and
separate
it just
thing. Yeah,
focused.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, we have the Sasuke recovery arc, and
Right.
that's yeah. Sakura doesn't go on that mission.
Cause she was like, oh, Sasuke, don't go. Beginning of Shippuden, I mean, she got insanely strong. She became a very very good medical ninja, and they kind of seeded that her chakra control was kind of like abnormally good. That they were like, well, what the hell? I think Kakashi said something like when they were training to run up the tree in the manga or something. She did it like super quickly compared to Naruto and Sasuke. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
Yeah. Because I have the 3-in-1 volume. Like even
I do
Kakashi
too.
in part one, he was like, wow, your chakra control is crazy. Like she's always been sort of be proficient, but I don't. It always feel like she was playing catch up. And again, the story is mainly about Naruto and Sasuke, but it never really felt. She didn't really ever feel like. I felt like at any point she could beat like Naruto, number one, because he's the protagonist. I never felt like she could beat Sasuke because no shit. I never feel like don't really know if she could beat like Neji.
What?
You think Sakura could beat Neji? I'm not talking about with the seal. Not with the seal. Not with the seal. With the seal, obviously, no, she would no diff him quick. I'm saying like base Sakura versus base Neji. You think she's putting the hands on Neji? I don't think so.
I mean, I think so.
Why?
I mean, I don't want to get into power scaling, but like, how
No, let's
how
talk about
how
it.
is Neji gonna get
Let's
close to
talk
her?
about it. Why you say that?
How is Neji gonna get close to her?
What you mean?
She can like punch the ground and like destroy it with her cherry blossom clash,
You
and
act
she
like
has superhuman strength. Like, what's Neji
you
gonna
act
do,
like niggas can't jump. What you mean? What do you
bro?
mean,
And then what? And then what? She's gonna jump up and beat him up?
bro? Neji
He has
is
no
about
range.
3-4 times better of a like his combat proficiency is way better than Sakura. Like the gentle fist is no joke. Like Sakura ain't got hands like that. I'm sorry, she doesn't.
I don't know, man.
No, there ain't. I'm sorry, that's cap. That's cap.
I feel
I'll
like
give it to
one
you. With
hit
the
would
seal, she
take
would
her
kill
down.
him. Like she would one tap him. She'd kill him. But nah, man, Neji would He shut them chakra points down, and that's it. I don't think so. I don't know.
But that's if he can't even get there first.
But you're acting like Sakura is like this like super ranged fighter though. She's not.
I mean, with
Even when
cherry
she
blossom
fought
clash, she
when
even
she
gets
fought
range.
Sasori was chilling. You know what I mean? She had to get close to him. You know
That's
what I
fair.
mean?
But I mean, Sasori had ranged attacks.
He did, and she had to avoid those and get close. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even her fight
I
against
don't know, man. It's a
what
tough
was her
one.
other fight in part one? Or part not part one, part two. She fought Sasori, and then she had
You know?
zero fights
Oh,
until. Let me
I
see.
don't think she had another solo fight like that.
Tenchi Bridge,
She
no.
did have a few fights. She
Pain
punched
Arc,
a
no.
centipede in the pain arc. She one-shotted a Zetsu in the war.
I mean,
And
Zetsu,
then
who
she
cares?
beat up some other
It's
Zetsus.
a Zetsu. He got beat by a mini Rasen Shuriken. Who gives a shit?
I mean, Neji almost got beat by Zetsu.
Yeah, that's facts. That's true. I don't know. That's interesting though. I'd have to prep for that question even more. But
As for you talk about superficial,
yeah,
personally, I think I said this in a video before. I don't mind superficial goals as long as like a character grows out of it. And one of them, my main example, have you seen Welcome to the Ballroom?
I have not.
Okay, so but like the main character, he sees this attractive girl and she does ballroom dancing, and that's the sole reason he joins ballroom dancing. And he even gets called out for it at one point. But as he keeps going on in the plot, he develops a love for actual ballroom dancing outside of that character. I mean, he still likes her to a degree, I believe, but like he actually gains a love for ballroom dancing. And I think that is a good example of how to do it. And I think a bad example is Kenichi, the world's strongest disciple. I did not finish it, but when I got there, the main character started doing martial arts for this one girl, And when I was like 7 episodes in, that was still the sole reason he was doing it. And I'm like, does he ever change? I'm not sure about that. And I think that Sakura's is, for me, I think Sakura's is fine because she starts off, she's like, oh, I just want to marry Sasuke. That's it. I just want
It
Sasuke.
ended with episode 7 though. I'll tell you that.
Huh?
It didn't end at episode 7. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think yeah, oh yeah, definitely. But I think like by the time like part 2 rolled around, her goal changed to I want to help Naruto save Sasuke, and it wasn't just I want to get in Sasuke's pants. And I think that that was good. I think that was
but I mean, her is still like begging Naruto to get him back. Like, you know what I mean?
That was in part 1 though.
But it was at the very end of part 1. At the very end.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just, I don't know.
I mean,
like,
I feel like
you know why I have an issue? You have an issue. I feel like if Sasuke had stayed, she would have had no reason to attempt to like get that much stronger from Tsunade. Is how I feel, right?
That's kind of. I mean, yeah, but I mean, why is that bad?
I'm not because it's like, okay, so say everything is hunky dory, quote unquote. Why are you getting better? Why are you wanting to get stronger? You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be everybody wants to be a good shinobi. Everybody wants to be a good shinobi.
Oh, my bad.
Everybody wants to be
tough times make strong men.
Break that down. What do you
mean? You never heard the quote, tough times make strong men make easy time make weak men, and weak men make hard times, and then hard times make strong men. So I'm saying that like when you're put under pressure, you might turn into a diamond.
See, I understand what you mean, but like, even like Naruto, like in Boruto, for example, right? Like Naruto never stopped training. Like he even learned more shit from what we know, right? And those are relatively like peaceful times. Like shit wasn't really happening until.
I mean, Scarlet Spring said he got rusty, but I see what you mean.
But here's the thing. Even Seth had a video about this. Not really, because like all the other Hokage were getting washed. Here's like all the other Hokage were getting washed by Momoshiki, right? Like they were just getting like bing, bing, bing. Like they were just getting thrown around. He started swapping hands with Momoshiki. Base nerfed. Do you know how crazy that is? Like, and he was working it for a second. Like that is wild. It's crazy, right? So like Naruto's not like super like when he's older. Yeah, he did a lot of paperwork and shit like that. But it's not like he's like stopped training. And like no, we know this for a fact. So that's just that, you know.
I mean, that might just be the story trying to hype up Naruto.
Well, also, I mean, it's trying to make Boruto villains better than, you know, Shippuden villains, and I don't really know if that's gonna ever happen. But hey,
it's not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna turn this into a Boruto rant video because I don't have the patience for that. Yeah, I don't know. Just generally speaking, not to say I would like more women-led stories, because I mean, like, I don't care if a story is led by women, men, whatever. As long as it's a good story, I don't really give a shit. Like Korra, for example, I've been rewatching it. It's a woman-led story, and I think I think Korra gets way more shit than it deserves, honestly. I think people kind of chilled out now.
Debatable.
Ooh, what you mean? So okay, so I'll tell you straight up. Season 1, I think the romance is kind of just like shoehorned. I didn't like the romance. Everything else was good. Season 2, I think Korra's character was, I don't want to say borderline unbearable, but it started kind of leaning that way. Season 2, but it was still pretty good. Season 3 was Zahir, my favorite season by far. I actually have a video planned for Zahir. I gotta actually record sometime soon. I gotta finish up the script tonight, actually. That was crazy. And in season 4, Kuvira was, I actually think Kuvira was actually a good villain. For what the story, where the story was at that point. But go ahead.
No. I agree too. I thought it was a very interesting concept to say like we don't need the Avatar. Mm-hmm. Or was that Zahir?
So kind of both. Zahir wanted to get rid of the Avatar because Zahir had like more of like an anarchist ideal where it's like, okay, we need no authority. The only loyalties you need to have are between your loved ones and friends. That's it. There is no other binding force that should be upon you. And the Avatar, from his perspective, was like, okay, well, unfortunately, I have no beef with you. I have no issue with you as a person, but you are a cog in this machine that I'm trying to break down. So you got to go too. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Kuvira was just a dictator, and she was just like, you know, hail me, so you gotta go. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean
yeah.
I mean, Kavira's kind of one note, but I like her because she's good at what she does. Also, her voice actress was Zelda Williams, Robert Williams' daughter, which is actually very interesting.
That's a genie, right?
Yeah. Robin Williams, yeah. He's also a Fender from Robots and Mrs. Doubtfire and Good Will Hunting, all that.
Oh, I don't know those.
What? Are you serious?
No, I don't know that. Yeah. I mean, I've heard of Good Will Hunting. I recognize the name, and I'd probably be able to tell you it's a movie, but I have no idea what it looks like.
Oh, you're a trip. Oh, bro, you gotta get on that. Those are good movies. Mrs. Doubtfire, but you can skip that. It's a funny movie. But Good Will Hunting is actually a very, very good movie. Very emotional movie. I think you'd like it. But yeah, no, like I said, as far as like female led stories or women led stories in anime manga, we can always use more. I don't care. Sure. I mean, women are the minority, or comparative minority. So you know what? Hey, why not? Who cares? But
wait,
I want them to be quality.
Stories? Oh yeah.
I want them to be quality before anything. I want them to be good stories before anything.
True. I respect that.
Even like so again, my favorite anime of all time is Fullmetal Alchemist. That was written by a woman. You know what I mean? Demon Slayer. I love Demon Slayer. That was written by a woman. You know? So it's stuff like that. Is
that confirmed? I tried to look it up, and I
think it's confirmed. I'm pretty sure. The overwhelming majority, I believe.
Did not say that.
I think. Let me.
Wikipedia didn't even want to use a pronoun. They just kept saying "gotoge."
Is Demon Slayer's author a woman? At some point, a WSJ employee apparently leaked that they're a woman. I mean, that's not reliable, but I mean, if they are, who cares? I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, like, let's have more stories led by women. Sure, who cares? But let's make them good first. Let's make them quality stories first. You know, I really don't like women being used as plot devices in like pretty much any sort of media at this point. You know what I mean? Like the trope is tired. I'm tired of seeing it. You know,
I mean, I'm fine with tropes to a degree as long as they're like done interestingly.
There are some tropes I like, but that specific trope, that's whatever. You know what I mean?
What do you mean when you say plot device? Do you mean like damsel in distress?
Damsel in distress. She's the key to whatever. She's this person's daughter. Blah blah blah. You know, like just like that kind of shit.
Dang, they can't be daughters anymore.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. So like, I was talking about like Raven for like Teen Titans. You know what I mean? Like, and she's like, oh, she's Trigon's daughter. Like just like, oh, but it's shit like that, or just like the oh, I'm new to Earth. Not new to Earth. What am I saying? Like I'm new to this planet, race, whatever. And I fell in love with this particular like protagonist number one.
Fish out of water.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm all right on that. There are a lot of tropes I really do like though. There were some really stupid tropes that I enjoy. I love seeing like the blood in the corner of the mouth trope, like someone's getting beat up. I love seeing that shit. I love seeing like my favorite is like it's like the bleach cut, you know what I mean? Like that one diagonal cut across their chest. They just like, I love seeing that. I love when like villains like get like beat up and shit. And you see their body just like shaking and just like, just from the impacts of the hits. I love seeing that shit. Oh man, what are some of your favorite tropes? I'm curious.
Ooh, I mean, a basic one would be the rival. I love the main character having like a rivalry with the other character. Yeah, red Oni, blue Oni. I love that.
Yeah, you like the Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh, like that kind of shit.
Sort of. I mean, I haven't seen that much Yu-Gi-Oh, but from what I remember, yeah, that it's just so cool. I just love seeing rivals
like Kaiba, and like Shadow from Sonic, Vegeta.
Yeah. But when stories, battle manga lack that, I'm like, come on, man. Like One Piece, they don't have that. Sheesh. It kind of impacts my enjoyment of it.
I get you, man. Here's the thing, like there are things you like do like characters like saying their techniques when they do it. They ain't gotta do that, but I love when I hear it. I love it. It makes no sense. I don't care. Man. You know what I mean? Like that's hype. That's cool. Or like characters like they're speaking for like 15 minutes while they're in midair. You know what I'm talking about? It's like bro, who cares? Like, I don't care. Like, go ahead, bro. Who cares?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like Jojo Dio says, we got 10
Yes,
seconds.
yes,
And we get a whole
yes,
monologue.
bro, yes. It's shit like that. I'm like, bro, I don't care, man. It's anime. Who gives a fuck? Question for you. I'm curious. Do you think that anime specifically has anything that they can give American-made cartoons / animations like a heads up on, or like an improvement on from their end? I'm curious.
Bro, everything, honestly.
Okay, so what do you mean by that?
I mean, hold on. I was about to start with animation, but the Japanese,
man,
they make good animation,
American animation,
but like the work process.
Nah, man, American animation has stepped up recently. Like, look at like Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, they have a whole. I'll send you the video. They have a whole scene. It looks like it's straight out of like Naruto. Like, they have like flying Raiji, like all that. You know what I'm talking about? Like, whereas, like the
flying Raiji and Clone Jutsu.
Yes,
it's Raphael, Leonardo.
That was cool. Yeah, but American animation definitely
that's rare.
But keep going.
I'll say stories. You gotta. I mean, I don't know who's writing the stories. And I mean, sometimes it's the manga creator, sometimes it's like someone in the anime industry, but like they could help them out with stories, because like Americans, they struggle. I remember Rise of the TMNT. I saw that clip on Twitter. I was sending it to a bunch of people I knew. I was like, yo, this is epic. And I was like, I am going to watch this show and get to this point. And I got like 5 episodes in. I was like, yo, I can't watch this show. It's just not written that well. It's too comedic for my taste. They don't take the plot seriously. It was disappointing. That's what I'm like, you have such great animation, but you're wasting it on like these jokes, and you're not even using it that frequently. Like, I thought it would be maybe like more of an action comedy, but it felt more comedy than action. And it's like, when I look at that end scene, it's like the buildup isn't there to that end scene. When I see that end scene and then I watch the show, it's like that was false advertising, because that's not what I'm actually getting from the show. If the show actually focused on just action primarily, and they had that good animation throughout, I would have loved it. But when I was watching it, there was an episode where they got sick, and that was like the whole episode. They were just in the sewers, and each of them was like getting sick, and they were spreading the virus. There was one episode where Leonardo wanted to get on the Hall of Fame in this one mission. They were at like a pizza place, and they had to take a like maze or something. There was another episode where they were dressing up as like these costume animals so they could buy a game system or something, and I'm like, what is this?
I mean, that show's for younger kids as well, but also like that's not an excuse to like write stories that like aren't interesting. Because what Avatar was marketed
Avatar's
towards
for
kids
kids.
as well.
Teen Titans for kids.
Yeah, Teen. Oh my God! Do not get me started on those early 2000s cartoons, bro, because those were some Static Shock, crazy, going crazy. But DCAU back in the day, son, untouched, untouched. Justice League Unlimited, boy, I tell you, that shit peak. You want to talk about GOAT peak fiction? Come on, don't play with me. There was that one episode they had. I will remember this till the day I die. It was Doomsday. He was running across Metropolis. People like, oh my God, where's Superman? Where's the Flash? What are we gonna do? People were freaking out, and they said the B-list heroes. They're like, oh my God, we're gonna die. But the B-listers, they got whooped, but they had heart though. Oh my God, bro, that was epic. It was Homeboy. He had like I forgot what his name was. He looked like a knight. You had the dude that was a cowboy. That was epic, bro. That was so epic. Then you have like Speedy and Green Lantern, or not Green Lantern, Green Arrow show up.
Yeah, Speedy and Green Arrow.
And that episode was fire, so fire. Oh my God. Can you imagine if like Marvel had like the DCAU like that, like comparison, like so imagine like Marvel took their animation department seriously, and they didn't like fuck over a lot of these like animation studios and like the digital effects artists, and they actually like built up like all like instead of like focusing it 100% into movies, like also like putting as much love and care into like animation, and you have these like all these conjoined stories and stuff like that through animation. Oh my God, bro, can you imagine? Like, oh my God, dude, DC was in its bag in the early 2000s, man. They were going nuts.
That's why I cannot stand when people say, oh, but it's for kids. Bro, DCAU was for kids, and that thing had maturity. JLU, I never felt like it was talking down to me or
No.
treating me like a kid.
You had the episode with Static Shock where you had Static Shock's friend, I think it was Richie or whatever his name was. His dad was a racist. You had the episode where this kid brought a gun to school.
Oh man,
you know what I mean? You had dude, like real talk. A kid got shot. Like I think his friend got shot in the leg. You had the episode in Teen Titans where the dude, he was like some famous superhero in the galaxy, and like he did not like Starfire because she was a Tamarin, and he started calling her all these names, or whatever.
Rock.
Yeah. And then like Cyborg talks to her. She's like, well, how do you know how I feel? And Cyborg's like, it's because I'm a robot. You know what I mean? like something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell mature stories, man. That's why Sonic Frontiers, man, that's going crazy right now. Like I haven't finished the game.
Hold on, what?
But hold on. Not like mature story, but like that's good. But hey, look, overwhelmingly, the people are loving the direction of the stories of how that's going. Ian Flynn, he's doing an amazing job.
Why?
In my personal opinion. What do you mean?
Oh man.
What do you mean?
No, I don't like the Sonic Frontier story.
So I have not finished it yet. I just started the third island. I have read the majority of the comics as well. But as far as the story, I can't give my 100% of my thoughts on it because I have not finished it yet, so I can't give an objective opinion. But I am liking it so far.
Really?
Yeah, I'm liking it so far. I think interesting that we're getting possible lore as far as like chaos goes. Because I was wilding out on my stream. Wait, what did you say?
Barely,
but I don't know like how deep they're going into it. You know what I mean? And also,
yeah,
I'm kind of forgiving this as well because this is kind of Sonic Team giving a soft reboot to the series as well because they said it's kind of the formula they want to go with. And this is the first like time since like Generations or like Unleashed, like not Generations because that story was shit. Since Unleashed, they kind of took themselves like seriously. I mean, Sonic Force is supposed to be a serious story, but Pontac can't write a story to save his life. So, yeah, that I don't know. But yeah, you can mature doesn't mean dark, and that's why I have an issue with the Titan show. And that's
the what's it called? Sonic and the Black Knight story, bro. That theme was deep.
Mm-hmm. Even in Secret Rings at the very end, like Shara, she was like attached to the Razor Jin for however long, and like when he died or when he got beaten, like she was upset. Like she knows he was an evil guy, but she's like, I've known this person for so long, and that's why Sonic wishes for like like a million handkerchiefs or whatever like that, so she can keep crying. He's like, it's okay, take as much time as you need. That's beautiful.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
I need to check out the Secret Ring story.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Even like at the very end of Sonic and the Black Knight, I think I talked about a little in one video I had a while ago, where like Merlina, she's like, you gotta start over. Like it's like not start over, but like nothing's gonna die. Like everything's gonna be like frozen. Like everything's gonna stay the same. And Sonic's like, no, like everything's going to pass, but that's okay. It's okay to live in the moment. It's okay to take your time to enjoy it. That's because we only have so long. You know what I mean?
I think a subtle thing is that they didn't flat out say is that she felt that way because of her grandfather's passing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Great,
I
right?
haven't played that in years.
I only caught that on my recent rewatch because like right after he said that, she said grandfather. And earlier in the story, she talked about her grandfather's passing. It's amazing, bro. Shiro Maekawa does it again.
Yeah, man. You gotta, dude. It's why I can't stand Titans. God, mature does not mean dropping the F-bomb left and right and having gore. That's not what mature is, dude. You want a mature story? Daredevil's a mature story. And it also has that, but it's tasteful. You know what I mean? Like it's, God, man, you can have adult themes. Like, oh, people are clapping cheeks on screen. Oh my God, this story's so edgy. It's only for adults. No, man. No, that's not interesting to me. It's shock value. That doesn't do it for me. You know what I mean?
That's why I prefer stories where they have limits, like what they can do. Because when a story has like limits, like maybe this like TV-14, I feel like the authors have to try harder. Because they can't just rely on blood, gore, violence, sex, swearing. They can't just rely on those easy things to make it entertaining. They have to actually put in the effort. For example, if you're watching a comedy where they don't swear a lot, They have to actually put in efforts to make the jokes funny. They can't just swear.
Oh yeah, it's like stuff like Family Guy and like American Dad. Like, a lot of stuff like doesn't. I'm like, how do you watch this? Like Big Mouth. I'm like, how is this funny? I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, nah. Even though it's like animation itself is just ugly and it looks bad. And people are like, I'm a nerd. He's like we're both nerds, so like when I see like bad animation, I'm like, oh, or like, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, because like here's the we're honest, like the average person doesn't look like something like cinematography or like compositing and shit like that. Like no one looks at that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
But to me, just my eyeballs, I'm like, I can't look at this. Like I'm all right, man. I'm good. Yeah, So I was watching some of the 2012 TMNT series, and while the animation's dated,
great.
The animation's dated, but it actually had a lot of really, really good concepts. I
think it's my favorite of any of the shows.
Actually, I don't think I know. To the 2003, before they did like the heavy Leo jerk, but I feel what you're saying. Me personally, I really enjoy the tone in the 2003 series. I think was on point. The humor was pretty good as well. I think the side characters were really good and interesting as well. There was actually an episode involving Baxter Stockman where it got pulled off the air in the CW website. Because it was so gory. Like he was like a literal zombie. Like his jaw was falling off. Like he was like a walking corpse. Like I remember that. That might have been a little too much. Maybe a little too much for kids. Maybe I gotta agree there. Maybe that's a little far. For a TV Y7. But
Y7.
I know I'm not. It's literally TV Y7. That's what the rating is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh. Like he's literally killing people. Like the Shadow Realm. There ain't no Shadow Realm in the manga. You're dead.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I don't know if it's not in the manga, but like, you're dead. No, you die.
Dang.
You get no. In order for the anime, no, you get clapped up. Like your life, no, they're life points for a reason, bro. Like,
wow.
You get
over
clapped.
A card game.
Yeah, bro. They take that Yu-Gi-Oh serious. I gotta send this TikTok to you. This dude had it was like a 40 section deck of nothing but Blue Eyes Dragon, and he had the Kaiba core chain and everything. It was hilarious. I gotta send this to you. I was crying laughing. He said, I only want nothing but Blue Eyes.
Isn't there a limit on the amount of characters you can have in a deck?
Yes, but this entire deck was just Blue Eyes Dragon. It was hilarious. Oh man. Oh man. But yeah, man. I don't know. I think American animation, like people dog on it a lot, but like I haven't watched this, but like Over the Garden Wall, I heard it's fantastic.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Is that worth my time?
That's one of my top 10 cartoons personally.
Yeah. Watch that. Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, there are some points that are kiddie. There's some episodes that are a little childish, but I feel like for the majority, it's like really good. The story is like mature. It's and then when you finish it, tell me, because I have an analysis video you gotta watch. It increased my respect for the story.
Interesting. I actually have to. I've been meaning to do this. I've been meaning to make a some sort of video essay on the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie, because that's like one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite movies. Kind of like realizing like. Number one, like, it's so weird to me because, like, the suits should look more dated than they are to me, and maybe there's just nostalgia, but I actually don't think they even look that bad. You know what I mean? Like, for the time period, they looked crazy. The Jim Henson's, work was going hard. But just the story, I really enjoyed. You know, you had, and there were some smaller things, too. Like, when I was younger, I didn't catch, like, Splinter like talking in the beginning like to the turtle. He's like, hey, I'm gonna be gone, you guys need to be ready, you need to prepare. And then like later on you see like Michelangelo kind of, I know it was Donatello, he was skating through the sewers and he sees Michelangelo like looking up at the moon. He's like, hey, he's like, what do you think about, like Splinter like saying, we can, or he's like, hey Mikey, he's like, what do you think about Splinter and how we might not have him? And then Michelangelo's like, pizza dude's got 30 seconds. Like he's like he heard what he said, but like he doesn't want to think about it. And I didn't really catch that as a kid. I literally just didn't even cross my mind.
It's denial.
Like, yeah, it was denial. He's like, I'm not gonna think about that. And like you see, like when Raphael, when he led a foot soldier to their house, to their home in the sewers, and then Splinter ended up getting kidnapped. And you know, he's like, he walks in, and that scream he lets, so that scream is haunting. That scream is nothing but haunting, dude. Just like it like pans out, and you just see it just like that is just muddled and distorted because they're so far away from society. They can't call anybody for help, and that dude just walks by the store. He's like, ugh, you know what I mean? Or like when, you know, Raphael and Leo, they get in their big fight. He's like, man, I don't need you anyway. You don't need your attitude, blah, blah. They leave and whatever. And then Raphael ends up getting thrown through the window, and Leo's the first one to go over to him. And when he's beat and, you know, they're trying to heal him, you know, back to full health. Leonardo, he didn't leave his side. You know, he's not eating, you know, he's just posted up waiting for anything he needs, you know what I mean? Like that.
Man, I gotta watch this movie.
Dude, bro, this movie is bro, again, once you get past like it's a 90s, it's 90, but 1990, it's a little older, but dude, I love this movie. Dude, the score, the music when the Shredder shows up at the final battle, bro. Final battle is a little anticlimactic, but the music that plays, the synth goes absolutely nuts. Bro, this I literally could go on and on about this movie. I love this movie so much. It kind of sucks what happened to the second movie because parents were like, "Oh my god, this movie about Ninja Turtles is too dark for my 10-year-old," and so they end up getting Vanilla Ice to do a song for the second one.
It's an iconic song though.
Hey, that song goes hard. I was listening to it the other day. You know what's funny is I need to rewatch the third one, but I actually don't really hate it. I don't hate it as much as a lot of people do, which is odd. A lot of people like really, really, really hate it. I don't. I mean, the costumes are weird. I don't know why they changed them so much from the second and first one. But I actually enjoy it for some reason. Maybe I'm weird too. I don't know. I don't know. Growing up with my nana, that's all I watched.
How many of the videos have you watched? The recent ones that I've been making.
I watched the first one, and then I had not watched the second one. The second or third, I had not watched.
What did you think about the guy's arguments that he was making?
Can you reiterate? I don't think I watched all of it, but can you break that down for me real quick?
All right, he was saying stuff like, well, one of the ones I remember is that he said he was criticizing Kushina for giving up her dreams to be Hokage to take care of her son.
What?
She was criticized. He was trying to use the fact that Kushina gave up on becoming Hokage to take care of her son as a bad thing, as a way of saying that Kishimoto writes bad women.
He's smoking nut. She's a mother.
That's what I'm saying.
What?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why are you putting down motherhood?
That's not even a problem with women. He's a parent. Minato did the same thing. What are you talking about? Minato was Hokage, and he died for his child. I'm confused.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nah, you smoking that pack. Nah. What else did he say? This is no disrespect to him, by the way. I'm just saying his argument is whack, but
I mean, I don't hate him either. I have no ill will. I just think that he's making a bad video essay, and he's he's tricking people. He's being deceitful.
Yeah, go ahead. What else did you say?
Actually, let me pull up because there were some really bad ones. Let me see.
I know there's some people are gonna disagree with what I say, and I mean that's fine. I don't really care, but no. Any sane person would give up anything for their child. Like you hear people talk all the time about how like as soon as you have a child, that your whole world is them. So I don't like what.
He also says that none of the women fight and that they all heal. It's something along those lines. He's like, men fight,
the Mizukage doesn't heal. Ino doesn't heal. Hinata doesn't heal. Senten doesn't heal. What? What?
I did the same thing. What? I came up with a list of characters that healed and a list of characters that didn't heal, and then I said half of the characters that heal also fight.
Sakura heals, Tsunade heals, but they're like the best at what they do. Huh? Wait, what? Okay.
He's saying stuff like he was saying that Naruto is problematic because it suggests that men and women differ naturally in regard to aptitude and vocation. That's a quote from one of the authors that he's referencing. And I was like,
in terms of what?
Women, I just took that aptitude is like, I tried to interpret it. Aptitude is like what you're capable of doing, and vocation is like what jobs you do. So I was like, men and women do have different strengths, and they do usually have like different jobs. So I don't know what this person was trying to say. Why they're trying to say that's
you
bad.
even look at like how women are written in a lot of shonens. They're written as way smarter than the men. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So,
that's true.
Like, I don't know, Shinobu, who is easily the weakest Hashira. She's one of the smartest, probably no, the smartest. Excuse me. You know what I mean? And she's the
she's like a scientist too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And she's the most physically inept. And I'm not saying she's inept as bad, but she's like, compare her to like Tengen or like Rengoku, or I'm gonna compare her to Iguro because Iguro sucks and I hate him. But like, Iguro is so whack. Iguro is so ass.
He was such a jerk, man.
He's a prick and he sucks. There's nothing interesting about him. But anyway, yeah, his backstory sucks. His backstory is sad. I don't care. But yeah, man. Dang. I mean, like, the first thing Sakura does is call Naruto an idiot because she's right. Like, he's not book smart at all. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, like,
he also says all healers are women.
All healers.
Can you name one non-female healer in Naruto?
There's a whatchamacallit? Wasn't there one from the Hidden Cloud, or am I making that up? No, this is a Genjutsu specialist.
No,
right?
you're not. No, you're not.
No.
I'm surprised that was your first one because I didn't even remember that.
Who was it?
My first one was Kabuto. His name is C.
Yeah, C. Yeah. Cause he was yeah. I mean, Kabuto's literally a whole scientist
crazy
too.
memory.
Yeah. I barely remember. I barely remembered him.
So like right there, that's two males, and he said there's no male here. So I'm like, he's not even doing his research.
Is he talking about specifically just Naruto? Specifically?
Oh yeah, Naruto.
Okay.
Specifically Naruto. He said there's no male.
Kabuto literally like.
That was his whole point.
Borderline Orochimaru, borderline, but also he's a scientist. But like.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He said that there are, him and the writer, the person's name is Fujimoto, Yukari Fujimoto. She wrote a book talking about like the problems of Naruto and females and stuff. They were saying that no female is able to overwhelm any male through pure skill. What do you think about that?
Sasori was defeated by Sakura and Shio. Sakura punched Kaguya in the back of her skull. What?
Tamari and Kayuya were both going to be Shikamaru.
Tamari one-shotted homegirl from the Sound 4. She one-shotted her.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, they were talking about women overpowering men, but Kayuya and Tamari each beat Shikamaru, or were going to.
Sakura is stronger than base Naruto. Like, physically stronger than base Naruto. In part 1, at the beginning of part 1 at least. The beginning of part 1. Now, not Sage mode where he like stops a rhino and shit, and definitely not like a KCM cloak, but like the first thing Naruto does is like, what the fuck? He's like, he sees her punch the ground. He's like, huh? Like, what?
And then throughout the video, he's constantly putting down the concept of healing. He's like demeaning it, making it sound like it's not as important as it is. Saying things like, oh, Konohamaru killed a pain, but what was Sakura doing? Yeah, Sakura was at the hospital healing people.
Well, Konohamaru also killed the weakest pain, who also promptly got rezzed.
Facts. I mean, there are like 3 weak pains.
Also, you want to know how bad that is that Jiraiya got packed up by, 6 different pains in Konohamaru. Also, Kakashi beat the strongest pain. Well, not almost beat, but he was throwing down the strongest pain. He really didn't die from him. He died from like chakra exhaustion, which is wild. That's crazy. Dude, he fought Tendo Pain, and if it wasn't for the fact that like he was out of chakra, he wouldn't have died. Like, he could have just feigned his death. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Jiraiya lost because he defeated the 3.
He got jumped.
He defeated the 3v1, and then they got revived, and he got jumped by 6. I think one of the coolest things about the pains is that individually, most of them aren't even that strong. But like when they group up together, they're like bullies.
It's because they share that vision. That Renegades goes crazy.
Yeah. And then so like the guy was talking about he was putting down Sakura as a healer. Then towards like the end of his Sakura section, he says physical strength does not equal a good character. So then I was like, why do you keep insulting Sakura's fighting ability if physical strength doesn't equal a good character?
I would not say that Sakura's lack of fights is because she's a bad character. It's just because she's just underutilized. I mean, I personally don't love Sakura's character. But I mean, even in Boruto, she's kicking ass, right? Unless I remember that wrong.
Yep, yep.
So
She was fighting against Sheen, the guy with
he's the
the
dude that
eyes,
he was yeah,
trying guy.
yeah. So I don't know. That's weird. It's weird.
Have you seen Fairy Tail?
I have not.
Oh, okay. Because that's an anime that people put it down.
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff on my list. After I watch Edge Runners, which I'm not gonna drop it. I'm too far in, but after I watch Edge Runners, I'm going to, I think, start To Your Eternity maybe, or Fate. But I've heard Fate is really annoying to get in.
I'm not getting into that. When you gotta do a whole bunch of jumping around and like stories
I
get
looked
retconned
around
and
because they're
stuff.
like Fate Stay Night, Fate this, Fate that. I'm like, well, which one's the first one?
I think Stay Night is the first one, and I think Unlimited Blade Works is like a remake movie version. I've seen that one.
Yeah, that's what I saw, and I'm just like, I don't know what's happening.
Another thing that shocked me. Do you know what a literacy test is?
I could assume what that is, but no. You gonna break that down for me?
It was back in like the 80s and the 90s when black people wanted to vote, and they were like, "Yeah, take this test if you can pass it." Yeah, and like it was extremely hard, and like even white people couldn't pass that. I made that comparison to in my third video because this person was like, "These are the criteria it takes to be a good female." He said, "It's rare to find a female character who has." Actually, let me just summarize it. He said he wants the characters to have. He wants them to have personality. He wants them to have individual motives that are not connected.
Every character has a personality. It's just whether or not
that's what I'm saying. He wants them to have like a strong set of beliefs. He wants them to be not sexualized, and he wants them to play a major role in the story. He wants all 5 of those things in order for a female to be considered good. And then I said,
you don't get half of those from male characters.
Exactly. Why are these people giving different standards to female characters than male characters? It's crazy. And then he wanted to compliment Jujutsu Kaisen for talking about the struggles of female characters and how they have to put in more effort to be seen as on the same level as their male counterparts. I'm like, that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, that's. I was because Jujutsu Kaisen, they're not wrong. Nobara has the whole thing where she talks about like, I'm a strong sorcerer, but also I'm a girl. I like painting my nails. I like going out to the mall shopping, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So that's that's really fun. Wow, I'm not gonna get into the whole thing about that. Even like Dragon Ball, also Toriyama's kind of a weirdo, so I'm not gonna talk about it in depth. Because I have my thoughts on the Universe 6 Saiyans, trust me.
Universe 6, which was that one?
Universe 6 is the universe where Kale,
Kabe, and Hit are from, and
Choppa.
Oh.
Yeah. I really don't like the Universe 6 Saiyans, man. Not even just because the
tinkly in the back.
God, oh my God. It wasn't cool. Like, not say it wasn't cool. It was a gag when Goten and Trunks did it, and people were like, what? But like, you compare that to like when Trunks went Super Saiyan for the first time, like future Trunks. When he went Super Saiyan the first time, like when he found out Gohan died, I'm just like, why? Like, well, this is so disrespectful. I'm like, oh my God, it just felt so unearned, and they just get Super Saiyan 2,
and they get Super Saiyan 3 when they fuse.
Super Saiyan 3. What are you talking about? Oh, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about Kale and. I'm not talking about Kale and.
No.
I'm talking about Kale and. I'm not talking about Goten and Trunks. I mean, that was weird. That was weird too. I don't know. They just saw Goku go Super Saiyan 3, so I could do it. Weird. But I don't know. Dude, why? Oh my God, Dragon Ball just needs to just get it together. How do you have one of the biggest budgets possible? You could buy Mappa Studio 4 times over, Toei, and you choose to just sit on Dragon Ball and do nothing. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
They don't even need Mappa Studio because look at One Piece. Have you seen how
that's
One
what I'm
Piece
saying. I'm saying in terms of money. I'm not talking about like. I'm not saying they need.
Okay. Okay.
No, because look at One Piece. One Piece apparently is going crazy. Apparently Wayno's going hard. I've been seeing clips up and down on my YouTube feed. I've been seeing it. Like I saw like something. It was like Luffy punches Kaido so hard he launches him into the next episode or something like that. It's looking good, and I'm like, dude, like. Why are we Dragon Ball fans starving? Yeah, we got superhero this past year, but like that ain't what people want, bro. They want a Gohan story, but like, can you imagine if superhero was like 2D, like with quality animation and like a little bit of a lengthier story, more complete, more fleshed out? Sick, it'd be crazy. Like Toei is going so surface level on Dragon Ball. It's like, dude, it's time to change up the formula and actually care about the product you're shelling out. You have Dragon Ball Heroes who has an obscene amount of merch potential that they're not really, not to say they're not pushing, that's wrong, but like, dude, super like God Trunks, bro, I need 10, I need 10 wallpapers of that, Toei. Why don't I have it? You know what I mean? It's stuff like that, man. I'm just like, oh my God, you have so many cool concepts and you're just doing nothing with them. Granted, also Toriyama is 67 years old, and so I mean, like, I don't like they're grooming Toyotaro to be the next, Toriyama, which is fine and all. But also, the manga's been on a 3-month break for preparing for the next arc. Now, my theory, like my general theory, is that they're getting ready to make an anime announcement because we finished up 2 arcs ahead of where the anime left off, quote unquote. So I think they're gonna start pushing that because there was a leak that like there was a new Dragon Ball series come out next year, and then it was like revealed it's like a web series now or something. I don't know. I don't care, but I just, oh my God, like Dragon Ball Super cannot make the same mistake. It cannot. It cannot. We need to have quality choreography, and it's a fight. It is a fighting shonen, so I don't need that. If I see that one more time, I'm gonna flip out. Like I'm gonna have a stroke. I cannot afford.
They're not getting rid of that. It's a Fist of the North Star reference.
I don't care. I watched. Ask me if I care, because it wasn't in Broly, so I don't care.
Do you care?
No, I don't. I don't. It wasn't in Broly one time, so I'm not asking for the excuse. I want quality choreography. I want quality animators. I want you to pay said animators. Don't have them live at the studio. Pay them a really good wage. Send them home to their families. You know what I mean? Actually care about the story. Make things interesting. You have such a large core cast of characters. Do something with it. Chill out on Goku and Vegeta for a little bit. That little Dragon Ball Super was the Goku and Vegeta show. Yes, they're doing better with Orange Piccolo, Beast Gohan, and all that. That's cool, whatever. Get the other characters to their level. But like, dude, Tien, I think Tien's really cool. What's Tien done, bro? Nothing.
You try beam still.
Oh my God, bro. Like, and don't get me wrong, Toriyama set this precedent because of, the Boo arc and everything. Just, oh my God, man. Yeah, Dragon Ball Super cannot. Look at the scene. Like, look at, like, Tengen versus Gyutaro. Like, that fight, like, that final scene. Like, what? Like, did you even see that Legend of Dragon Ball Tale fan animation that took like 4 years?
I saw like a second of it. I'm like, yeah, I don't like this. I did like the art style.
I like the art style. The story is whatever. I don't care. It's just a what if story. I mean, I don't care. But the choreography and animation are crazy. They're good. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. So I'm sitting here like, Toei, what are you dragging your feet for? You know what I mean? Like, Dokkan Battle is a mobile game. It has grossed over $1 billion over the past 4 years. What are you doing with this money that you have accumulated? You know what I mean? Like, just even people are excited about Xenoverse 2 DLC with Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. And Xenoverse 2, it just reuses assets from everywhere. Like, Ultimate Gohan, like in the new pack, is just literally a reskin. I don't think there's anything different about it. So it's like, and people are still buying it. So why? Whatever, man. Don't even get me started on the new forms either. I think Ultra Ego just sucks. Period. But that's just my opinion.
I've heard that sentiment.
Yeah, I got a lot of heat for it. But no, Ultra Ego sucks. Bad.
What exactly is the concept?
The concept of alter ego is Vegeta kind of embracing like the destroyer mindset or whatever, and like understanding like having like just the lust for battle, like fully embracing it and like kind of throwing everything else away, kind of similar to Majin Vegeta, but not like losing himself. And the more damage he takes, the stronger he becomes, quote unquote. But he got knocked out 3 different times when he used the form, so I don't really care. Like he got knocked out. Well, excuse me. He passed out when he fought Granola. He passed out when he fought Gas with the form, and then True UI, and Ultra Ego, Vegeta got one-shotted by Black Frieza. So I'm like, what are we doing? Now people are telling me, oh my god, but the form is not complete yet. You know what wasn't complete and got more results? Ultra Instinct, on release.
Yeah.
That's I don't want to hear it. Like Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. Super Saiyan God, you know what I mean? Like, just, man, whatever. Also, the turnaround time of Super Saiyan God was way too quick. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Like, literally the very next arc, it's done. Like, why?
You said the turnaround time?
Yeah, on Super Saiyan God, it literally went from Battle of Gods, Resurrection F. Oh yeah, Super Saiyan God. Yeah, sorry, we got form stronger. Sorry, got to get that merch sales in.
True. Yeah, gotta get those different hair colors.
Literally, I'm just like, oh my god, dude, what are we doing? Yeah, I'm good on forms for a minute. Like, yeah, I'm a Dragon Ball fan. They're cool and all. I'm good for a minute. I'm good. Just
unless it's for other characters.
Yes, just like why hasn't like Krillin and them like learned like Kaioken yet or something? You know what I mean?
Or Spirit Bomb. Yep.
Yeah, like, come on, bro. At least Oob is in the story now, so that, I mean, they might do something with that.
Oh, they're bringing back?
Yeah, at the end of the Moro arc, Oob was shown.
Oh, interesting.
So, I mean, we'll see. We haven't seen him since, but I don't know.
All right, is there anything else you wanted to say about females in battle manga or anime?
Honestly, man, I mean, again, I am totally 100% down for more quality female, written shows and everything like that. I still gotta watch Ghost in the Shell as well, but like, and that's not a shonen, but as long as they're quality stories and all that, I don't really care. I don't really have an opinion either way. I'm getting even like more like things written by women. I'm totally down for. Let's push for it. Let's just make sure they're good first. You know what I mean?
Can I get a hashtag protect shonen women from you?
Yeah. Hashtag protect shonen women, man. I mean, yeah. Just make sure that first and foremost they are characters. They're not these billboards for your body pillow that you want. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Get a little bit of fan service in there is cool every once in a while. It's all right. You know what I mean? But like, come on, like let's do something, bro. Come on.
All right, you want to take us out?
Yeah, man. Anyway, I think that actually is gonna wrap it up for this video. Make sure y'all subscribe to Dimasuke. He just recently hit 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations on that, sir. No, that was like 3 months ago. That's still a big accomplishment. He does anime content. He has his own manga that he is writing as well. And yeah, that's about all I have for you guys. You guys have anything?
Nope.
All right, well, I think that will do it for this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to both of us. Y'all have a good one, all right? Peace.